Hi everyone, welcome to Tea Time, where we dish out the very latest entertainment headlines. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and here with me in the studio are the bubbly and exciting Elsie Godwin and Ife Oshunkeye. Hello guys.
Morning.
Okay, so my usual question, just one story each from each person. Let's start from
Okay,
Ife.
from each person, so let's start from you then.
Yes, okay. One of the things that I saw that was like, for me, the biggest thing is Tristan and Chloe's breakup, yes. And to see that the friend,
Kylie's best friend,
exactly, was involved is like quite shocking. And then apparently Tyler, you know Tyler, the Hollywood medium. Did you ever watch any of those? He's a Hollywood medium, and he also said something along those lines. So very, very interesting. I think that's the only thing that I saw that was trending, because everywhere I went, I could see it. People were talking about it.
Has this very amiable vibe, and he's like, you know, I don't have any story for you. So over to Ife.
Okay.
Rapper Young Six just reviewed as a father, and I think he's had his child for a while because the boy looks like he doesn't look like a newborn. You get me? So,
okay.
I think this is the first time he's just putting it out there that I'm a father.
Okay.
He shared a very adorable video on Instagram. Yeah, so that's what's new for me.
Okay, so moving on to the main stories this morning. Yes. Okay, you know what? Before I even actually do the stories, just a quick reminder that you can actually join our conversation by using the hashtag #TeaTime, or you can tweet at us at +TV Africa. Alrighty, moving on to the main stories once again. Music producer and singer Sheyman says some celebrities do not like the idea of other celebs prospering. Okay, we've had this conversation, I think, one too many times, you know, and like I say, it doesn't like necessarily apply to just entertainment or showbiz. It applies across board, you know, every industry. And I think, you know, maybe shall I say, I don't know about other African countries, but I think particularly Nigeria, where it's like we just want to pull the other person down, or we don't want the other person to progress, or even when we are progressing, is like we can't wait to be the best or at the top of our game every single time. So
it doesn't happen like that in the UK.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a bit extra here. It's
okay,
like,
so it happens everywhere, right?
Yes, but I find it is extra here.
So it's a human thing. It's not a Nigerian thing. It's not a celebrity thing. It's not an African thing.
Because there, they actually give and lend support, you know, to other people if you ask for it.
Do you watch Boondocks?
Sorry? Botox?
Boondocks.
No.
Oh,
no, yeah. You watch it.
Did you watch Boondocks?
I'm not sure.
Okay, tell us what you...
Well, anyone that watches Boondocks will, from what you just said, you're reminded all of us of Uncle Ruckus.
Okay.
So go find out who Uncle Ruckus is.
Oh, he wants to give us assignments this morning, seriously. Anyway, what's your take on this issue, or Elsie, do you want to?
I don't, like Elsie rightly said from the start, it's not a Nigerian thing.
I didn't say it was a Nigerian thing.
You said,
I mean, you just said it's a Nigerian thing.
I didn't say so.
You
I
did.
said particularly Nigeria. Doesn't mean it's a Nigerian thing.
You used the two words, Nigerian thing, right?
Yes, seriously. I said particularly Nigeria. Let's not even go there.
Let's just leave it at that.
Continue.
And it's a global thing. It happens in every industry. It's like the competitive nature of
Nigerians,
of
yes.
men.
Of humans.
Okay.
You understand? So I totally agree with Sheyman, and it doesn't have to be the entertainment industry like Elsie pointed out and like you also pointed out. So it's global. People really don't want to see others prosper, but that's one thing I admire Davido for. We rise by lifting others, and it's always helping us. And talking about Davido,
just have to give him accolade.
And talking about Davido, you know, we have
face.
that story, but we can't talk about it because of the person involved, sadly.
Which one?
The special Choma thing going on right now.
Oh, why would you say we can't talk about it? But then we are not really talking about it today. And like Ife has said, it's a human thing, yes. And this is why people keep trying to talk to each other to say, I mean, you don't have to bring anybody up, bring anybody down to actually be where you want to be or to be at the top of your game. If anything, I've learned that even being able to help people would actually help you one way or the other. So trying to say, oh, because I am Elsie today, nobody can be like me, or nobody should come close to what I'm doing, or if I have an opportunity that is close to you doing what I'm doing, then I say, oh no, I'm not going to refer you. It's not going to move me from point A to point B. If anything, then it's even likely going to keep me stagnant wherever I am. So I think we all need to understand that and understand sharing information.
And I think people are not aware of what you've just said.
Yeah,
now, that,
which is why we keep saying it, so that those that would listen. Because as much as you even talk about it, everybody's not going to be nice. Everybody's not going to be considerate. Everybody's not going to pull people up.
Exactly.
Like you rightly mentioned, the video without anybody telling you to. It's not like he's the only one in the entertainment industry, but he has made it his slogan. He has made it his way of life. Like if you're around me, if I can help you, I will do it, and if I can't, I'll move on with my life. So I think we all need to get to that point. Unfortunately, we are not all going to get to that point, but the few people who can should understand and not really take it as something terrible when they are betrayed, because people are just wired that way.
But we also need to take into consideration the fact that people don't, I mean, there's this expectation that once you're a celebrity, you should help, or once you're in industry, you ought to help others. I think at the end of the day, it should also be at the discretion of whoever wants to help, like in Davido's case.
Yeah, I also like the angle.
Yeah, so you need to be mindful of that, in as much as we say
because you think Elsie can help you does not mean Elsie can actually help you. You might just have that perception of you, oh, because she's here, she should be able to get me into this position. But it doesn't work that way. You don't know who she's answering to. You don't know what is going on in her life. So as much as we encourage people to help people, like you rightly said, let's reduce the assumption mentality. The expectation is to come down.
So, Ife, do you want to add anything more?
No, I think all said.
All said and done. Okay. All right. Tea time continues with more stories right after this break. It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got two of the hottest topics currently trending on social media. If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Coming up next, we're discussing Yoruba actress Lizzy and Jory, who drags follower on Instagram who claims she hasn't assisted Aileen Babasuwe. I think this topic is actually related to the first one in the sense that some of the things that we've raised actually apply to this as well. But one of the things that she said, which is actually particular to her own life, is that when she had her own problems, nobody even wanted to help. She talked about her mom, and she talked about one time her car was robbed, and that nobody helped. So that's one of the things I was saying, that people have their individual challenges, so there shouldn't be expectation that, okay, this person should help, or you force other people to want to help. If she wants to help Baba Suwe, it should be out of her own mind, out of her own volition.
She actually has.
Yeah, she said,
at the end of her
she said she had already helped. But I like the way she put it, and I like the experiences and the examples that she gave, and I think, like we said, expectations should be minimized or in accordance, to how people should react. It should not be forced upon people to help. If anybody wants to help Abasuwe, let it be out of their own volition. Ife?
Yeah, I totally agree with Lizzy. People tend to expect so much from celebrities, and I'm glad Tampan came out to release a statement that they've been paying his medical bills.
Yeah.
So if Lizzy and Jory is a member of Tampan, she has been contributing a token one way or another, regardless of whether she goes there physically or personally to render any help to him personally. But if she's a member of Tampan, she's played her part already, and a lot of other people in the industry have played their parts if they've actually been paying his medical bill.
Ife, that's one of the things I'm talking about in terms of expectation. They don't know that maybe she might be under the cover of Tampan. What they would what they want is because they went directly to her to say she should be the one to help. So sometimes they may not even know that you've helped through other means or through the association or through another body, and then you have the right and audacity to actually speak to someone directly to say you need to help. So I just wanted to
that's
touch
what
on
I'm saying. I think that's why we're on this show, to educate people that you don't necessarily have to look at it from a personal angle every time. Look at it from the associations they belong to, from what are those associations doing for them before you start looking at what personal individuals are doing for these people. And I like what she said, and I like the way she tackled the whole issue, because she gave real life experiences of when she has been in distress herself and nobody came to her aid. So it's totally acceptable for her to use her discretion, because at the end of the day, she said the headlines when her mom died was colleagues, industry colleagues, Sean, Lizzy and Jory's mom's burial. And she said that rings in her head like every day.
It's not just every day. I think it's been on the, I don't know, it was recurring at that time.
And she's like every
and
other,
also,
it's not like they've been
when
supporting
she has,
any other event she's been doing.
That's what I was going to say.
So they are not just a mom, they haven't been supportive of anything she's been doing. They've been shunning it, and the headlines have been like that. Like, how come you guys didn't pick on that when the headlines were Sean, Lizzy and Jory, Lizzy and Jory? But now that Baba's away, and then you guys are coming for me, don't come on my page and do that. And it's and I think at the end of the day, who are we to tell people how to live their life or how to react to certain situations, because we're all wired differently. The way I would react is different from the way Elsie would react, is different from the way you would react.
All right. So, and one of the things I just wanted to quickly say for us to end on this story is that in as much as this person is saying another person should do something or donate, everyone actually has a responsibility of donating if they choose to, so you can't go saying someone else should donate when meanwhile you haven't even played your own quota. No matter how small, I think every penny or every naira counts. So if this is the little you can do, you should do that first before you even reach out to anybody else before saying someone else should do. Or do you not think that would be applicable? Or,
no, sure, that's applicable. And even when you're reaching out, reach out in a way that you're soliciting for help, not making it look like you must, you have to, so
that's a wonderful
I think that
point.
covers it.
All right, moving on to our next story now. It's on Mocheddah, who launches mental health platform and reveals that she's been battling depression for 7 years. So, Mocheddah, we had the opportunity of having an interview with her some time back.
I was just going to refer the viewers.
And then you mentioned this yesterday too.
Yes, that you can go on our YouTube channel and look at our official interview with Mocheddah, where she spoke extensively about mental health and our battle with depression. And all of that. So I'm glad, this is what I've always been advocating for, that a lot of these celebrities, they come out and they say, mental health this, depression this, suicide this, corruption this, the government this, but nobody's actually doing anything about it. Now, this is a young lady that has taken a bold step to start a platform where people can be free and just share their own experiences, what they're battling with, their struggles, and then she said they have in-house therapist in there too that can help you with it, and it's free of charge. Now, this is someone that is doing something with a platform. She has the followership already. She has the platform, and she has created it for people. Now, if I feel depressed for any reason, at least I know there's a platform I can go to and probably just type something, and somebody just writes something that will put a smile on my face and make me just change the way I feel.
What's interesting is that it's not even just about social media. Like you said, there are places that they can go, and if you need therapy, you can get it.
But not everybody can afford those places. So that's what I'm saying. At least this is a starting
point. But I understand that from what I know, I think, all the bills are going to be foot by what's her name, Mocheddah.
Yeah, but first you have to go to that platform to go and write up something, or maybe send them.
Not necessarily. I think you can go direct. If you have all the info,
that's even better.
Exactly. Because there are some people that I know will not want to come onto social media to even discuss it.
No, when I say social media, I don't mean like come and comment or I'm talking about direct messages. That's your personal rapport with whoever is handling the social media page, right? So if that person feels, okay, there's a need to refer this person to a therapist, then they would do that. If the person feels that, okay, there's a need for us to have a one-on-one conversation, then they would probably invite you over. So when I'm talking about social media, I don't mean go there and start putting all your problems out there in the comment section. That wasn't what I meant.
All right, Elsie?
No, of course, what she's doing is commendable, and it's. I know you were saying something about people just talking and not doing, but it's easier for people to come out from a place of a place of knowledge or a place of familiar feeling to do something than just jumping on everything. There are very few people that can work that way, but for her, because she has experienced it, she understands the stigma that comes with it, she understands the challenges that comes with trying to get help when you're depressed. Then it's easier for her to say, okay, I really want to fill this gap. It's just like one of the biggest NGOs for mental health in Nigeria, that's mentally aware or something. They found out also suffered depression at some point. So that's gingered his passion and everything, and then he's doing a whole lot right now. So I like it. It's fine. We cannot stop people from lending voices or talking about things that are happening, but then if you can take it a bit further to create something like what she has done, that's all well and good. And also I would like to say that I hope that they carry this through, because this is actually a big responsibility. Is a big deal, exactly. Because if someone who is depressed comes on that page and is not really getting the kind of professional response or support they hope to, that that alone can even push
people off.
So I think this is a very delicate slope to go through, and I hope that she has the ability, the strength, and the capacity to make this work, because trust me, this is a big deal.
I think she's very passionate, because the last time we spoke to her, you know, she really talked about it, and I think she's passionate enough about it for it to be for her to make it a success. And I know she'll be very disappointed if something like that happens, where they are not able to help someone quickly, or where someone has actually committed suicide before they're able to help. So I know she'll be devastated if something like that happens. So, and then the length of time that she has actually been depressed, I think will make her even much more committed than someone who has been depressed for just a year or two. She's gone through this for 7 years, and I think that's like a good grounding, you know, for her to want to assist anyone going through that kind of thing. And let's not forget as well, she came out at a time when it wasn't even popular to actually come out with this kind of social problems, you know. And then she's also in the showbiz or entertainment industry, where it was also not that popular for people to come out and say these things openly. I think it was as a result of her coming out to say these things that a lot of people followed on that wagon to actually come out and start discussing the depression and then all the other problems that they have. You know, so I think that will go a long way and stand her in good stead to help other people when the time comes.
I hope so too.
Okay. Any final thoughts, Ife?
Well, kudos to you, Mocheddah, for putting this together.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing.
All right, Ife has said it for all of us. Yes, keep doing the right thing. Time for another break. When we come back, it'll be time to dish out one very interesting headline on Nollywood actress Michelle Dede. Don't miss it.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Na 2,500 they pay.
Welcome back. It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa. And we're moving on to our next story, which is on Nollywood actress Michelle Dede, who schools a photographer on why rape is not permissible. Okay, so This is really, really interesting because I like the sort of response that Michelle Dede, or how she handled this photographer. And she said she wanted to educate him or re-educate him, and she really gave him. She did, yes. She gave him like a 12-pointer on why it's not acceptable for him to say something like that, because he was saying, according to his post, that if girls dress inappropriately, then they should be allowed, or they should. I mean, it's acceptable. It's allowed them to be raped. I'm like, who says that? I'm like, yeah. Okay, so that's, I'm like, but who says that in this modern day and age? Seriously, like, come on.
Have you forgotten just a few weeks back, there was this guy that was lashed for saying that why would parents allow their daughters wear bomb shorts and like little girls, and do you remember that story? And they actually came. So I'm surprised you're surprised that people still think this way.
But then that takes me back to the fact that you said people in this our generation are really more sensible, and we don't have people thinking in the wrong ways in this generation. It's good that you're playing it out now. You're seeing that we have plenty of them.
Of course, how many percentage of people think stupid like this? That's the first. That's the main thing you should look at.
Yes, so I'm saying we are saying the same thing, Ife.
Anyway,
I never disputed that.
What she said, I think 2 points made great.
I like the fact that
2 points.
Let me tell you, no, don't say 2
sound
points.
dead.
Let me tell you the ones before you mention yours. The part when she told him, go back and read number 1.
No,
5.
No, she said, go back and read number 1 to 5, not 1 and 5.
Yeah,
Check
1
it.
to 5.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Yes,
and ask
I like
yourself,
that. Yes,
am I a fool? I was like, whoa.
Rape is not and will never be acceptable.
Yes.
And then the second one for me is where she said there are black and white areas when it comes to
That's number 4.
life, but not in the case of rape.
Yes. You know, from even the get-go, how she started, because she said,
I think you should just read it all out.
She said, dear Arinze, and she said she doesn't mean, she means that sarcastically, you know. Her choice of words, the way she handled it, and even towards the end, how she ended it as well.
Yeah, because she said she realizes that
he's following her, and that she's going to be advocating for so many, for talking a lot about rape and things like that.
So it would be a good idea for him to
unfollow. Wow, I was like, just the perfect way to end it and drive your point home. Well done, Michelle. Way to go. Way to go.
I like the way she did this, but people like Arinze should sit down, read this, get themselves educated, understand what consent is, understand that you
don't just read it, print it.
Look, do you know what he said? Even if he doesn't print it, I think everyone around him that know him, they're not going to let him rest on this matter.
They need to print it for him.
This came out.
If I knew this guy, I would print out copies and hand it over.
And sharing it.
Sorry, Elsie, say that again.
I was on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So this came off his friend or someone, at least someone who had his contact, grabbing that part and sharing it on social media. That was how this came off. Yeah,
and she was tagged actually. She said she was tagged on one of the messages that was going around, you know, and that's how she got her attention. Exactly. So that was why she was tagged, and that's why she commented and responded heavily, because normally Michelle doesn't like respond when she gets like any kind of negative comment or feedback. She's not interested. You know, she does whatever she wants to do at any point in time. But this really angered her in the sense that she's an advocate for, you know, incidents and social causes like this. So for someone to like,
and I like the fact that she made reference to the recent case of the 2 guys that
in the video,
raped the girl in Lekki, and that was just so, that is still fresh in our memory. And then someone is coming out to talk about rape, and that one is even the fact that the girl was intoxicated and she didn't know what she was doing, and then and that is still considered as rape. That is, people are beginning to learn different aspects of rape, that it is not only when even your husband, somebody you're legally married to, can rape you. Do you understand? Like, people need to understand the different aspects of rape and the different things that constitutes rape to start with. But a lot of men just think it is when you just go and then, you know, it's very, very stupid and absurd. I'm sorry to say, but I just think that a lot of people need to get more enlightened and they need to broaden their horizons.
I think Arinze really advertised his ignorance on the subject.
I like the fact that she said she's scared for his models right now.
Wow. Exactly.
I
That's a very good point because he's a photographer. So anytime they come in, so what happens when they dress inappropriately? Exactly. Is that what is going to happen?
That takes me back to so rest in peace, Lagerfeld, the
designer,
Chanel designer who died.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are now digging up some of his comments, or he's known for making some very radical comments, like saying that the models that are joining the Me Too movement are very stupid, and some unprintable words, saying that why would you work in such an industry if you don't want your pants pulled off? Do you understand? Now that's someone. It's not like it's just Nigerian men. That's why I brought in Lagerfeld. If somebody that works in the fashion industry, that works with a lot of models, can say that about people that he works with or that work for him, that why would you be working in such an industry if you don't want your pants pulled up? Then why won't a Nigerian man that we don't even know his educational background or whatever, is a photographer? No disrespect to photographers out there, because I know they are very well educated photographers that have taken it as a profession. So I'm just saying a lot of men need to change their mentality about rape and about consent.
I will watch out for anyone who is a model for Arinze right now. Be careful what you wear if you go for a photo shoot. Okay, that's my last word on that. Last word.
I think you all had the last words.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Ife, you don't want to say anything else?
Come on, man, am I a chatterbox?
Ife has taken Elsie's role, and that's where we wrap up on Tea Time this morning. Join us this afternoon for a brand new episode of the program. But remember that if there's a story this morning that you want to comment on, you can do so using you can do so on Twitter using the hashtag Tea Time, or you can tweet at us at +TV Africa. Until then, thank yous as always go to my co-anchors Ife and Elsie, the production team as well. I am Tokumbo Taiwo saying thanks for watching, and my goodbye to you today is going to be in a different language. Today it's going to be in Efik. Iyikud Sangasum.